The fate of the entire galaxy often hangs on a single, split-second choice. For Anakin Skywalker, that moment wasn't in the Chancellor's office or on the lava fields of Mustafar. It happened in a dirty tent on Tatooine. In the original timeline, he arrived too late, and his mother's death ignited a rage that eventually burned the Jedi Order to the ground. But imagine he was faster. Imagine he reached Shmi Skywalker just 1 hour earlier. This simple change saves a life, but it also completely rewrites the history of the Clone Wars, the Empire, and the Chosen One himself. Before we see how this new timeline unfolds, I want to say a huge thanks to everyone who left comments on the last video. This topic actually came directly from a suggestion by one of you, and we wouldn't be making this content without your incredible ideas. So please drop a comment below with your own what-if scenarios. We read them all, and the most liked ones might just become our next video. If you're enjoying this deep exploration, hit that subscribe button to join us for more Star Wars theories. Anakin Skywalker stands outside the Lars homestead while he listens to his stepfather explain the tragedy. In the original timeline, Anakin waits until morning to begin his search because he respects the dangers of the Tatooine night. But in this version, the Force screams at him with an urgency he cannot ignore. He doesn't wait or sleep. He jumps on the speeder bike immediately and cuts through the Dune Sea under the twin moons. That extra 12 hours creates a massive ripple effect. By trusting his instincts over logic, Anakin locates the Tusken Raider camp just before dawn and arrives while the guards are still sluggish from the cold night air. He finds the tent where they are keeping her. Shmi Skywalker is in critical condition, dehydrated and beaten, but she remains conscious. In the original movie, she dies moments after he finds her, which triggers his massacre of the entire village. Here, she looks up and whispers his name. Her voice is weak, but the life force is still there. Anakin feels relief wash over him and drowns out the dark anger that was starting to boil. He cuts her bonds silently. Because she is alive, his priority is extraction rather than revenge. He carries her out the back of the tent, uses a mind trick to distract a sentry, and slips away into the desert, without igniting a single lightsaber. Back at the Lars homestead, the mood is drastically different. Instead of a funeral, there is a recovery. Klieg Lars weeps with joy to see his wife alive, and C-3PO bustles around with water and medical supplies. Anakin sits by her bedside, holding her hand, but this time it is warm. The rage that defined his character in Attack of the Clones never takes root. He doesn't confess to slaughtering women and children to Padme because he didn't do it. Instead, Padme sees a hero who risked everything to save his mother. This strengthens their bond in a healthy way because she sees his devotion rather than his instability. Now Anakin faces a practical problem. He is a Jedi Padawan, forbidden from having attachments, yet his mother has nowhere safe to go. The Tuskens might return, and Tatooine is too harsh for her recovery. Anakin knows he cannot bring her to the Jedi Temple on Coruscant because the Council would expel him immediately. He turns to the only other person he trusts. As the Senator of Naboo, Padme Amidala has resources the Jedi do not. She offers to hide Shmi on Naboo in her family's Lake Country house. It's a secret arrangement that binds Anakin, Padme, and Shmi together in a private support system the Jedi Council knows nothing about. When the message from Obi-Wan Kenobi arrives from Geonosis, Anakin is in a completely different headspace. He isn't distracted by grief or guilt. He leaves Shmi in the care of Padme's family and heads to the rescue with a clear mind. In the arena, and later in the duel against Count Dooku, Anakin fights with precision rather than reckless aggression. While he might still lose his arm because Dooku is a master duelist, Anakin accepts the defeat as a lesson rather than a personal failure. He doesn't charge in blindly. This subtle shift means he fights more like a Jedi and less like a brawler, which earns genuine respect from Obi-Wan earlier in the war. The secret wedding on Naboo still happens, but the guest list has grown by one. Shmi Skywalker is there. Her presence changes the tone of the marriage, from a desperate pact to something more grounded. Shmi knows the danger of their secret, but she also sees the love between them. She becomes a confidant for Padme. Instead of carrying the burden of their secret alone, Padme now has a mother figure to talk to. Shmi encourages Anakin to be honest with himself, even if he can't be honest with the Council. This reduces the isolation Palpatine used so effectively in the original timeline to drive Anakin mad. As the Clone Wars rage across the galaxy, Anakin becomes a hero while the war takes its toll. In our timeline, he had no one to process his trauma with. Here, he makes secret trips to Naboo, not just to see his wife, but to talk to his mother. Shmi is a simple woman, but she understands slavery, freedom, and the human heart better than any Jedi Master. When Anakin complains that the Council doesn't trust him, Shmi doesn't feed his ego. She tells him to be patient and reminds him that trust is earned. Her wisdom acts as a shield against Palpatine's poison whispers. When the Chancellor tries to stroke Anakin's pride, it doesn't work as well because Anakin is already getting the validation he needs at home. One of the breaking points for Anakin was the Jedi Council's betrayal of his Padawan, Ahsoka Tano. In the original timeline, this disillusioned him completely. In this timeline, the anger remains, but he handles it differently. He takes Ahsoka to meet Shmi before she leaves the Order. Seeing Ahsoka interact with his mother reminds Anakin that there is a good life outside the Jedi Temple. Instead of feeling like the Jedi Order is the only path, he realizes Ahsoka might be safer away from the politics of Coruscant. He bids her farewell not with bitterness, but with a promise to keep watching over her. He doesn't lose faith in the Force, only in the flawed individuals running the Council. Chancellor Palpatine is a master strategist who realizes quickly that his grip on the Chosen One is slipping. He tries to use Anakin's fear of loss, but it's difficult when Anakin's mother is safe and happy. The nightmares about Padme dying in childbirth might still come, but Anakin's reaction is different. Instead of keeping it a secret, he tells Shmi. Shmi has given birth herself, so she calms him down. She assures him that dreams are just shadows and suggests they get the best medical droids from Naboo to ensure Padme's safety. Logic and preparation replace panic. Palpatine sees that he cannot break Anakin through fear alone, so he decides to remove the safety net by killing Shmi Skywalker. Palpatine hires bounty hunters like Cad Bane or Aurra Sing to attack the safe house on Naboo. He frames the Jedi Council by planting evidence that suggests they discovered the secret attachment and wanted to remove the distraction. It's a twisted move, designed to turn Anakin against the Order forever. The attack leaves the lake house in ruins. Shmi is injured, but because she has been living with security droids provided by Padme, she survives long enough to send a message. Anakin receives the distress call and rushes to Naboo with his heart pounding. He finds the evidence pointing to the Jedi, and for a moment, the dark side surges within him as he ignites his lightsaber. But Shmi is not dead. As Anakin kneels beside her stretcher and rages about the Jedi betrayal, she stops him. She tells him what she saw. The attackers weren't Jedi shadows. They were mercenaries using Sith artifacts. She describes a figure in the background who coordinated the assault, someone she recognized from the holograms Anakin showed her of his mentor. She describes Palpatine's unique shuttle leading the scene. The lie falls apart. Anakin realizes the Chancellor didn't just fail to stop the war, he brought the war to his mother's doorstep. The betrayal isn't from the Jedi, but from the man he thought was a father figure. The confusion vanishes, and is replaced by cold clarity. Anakin returns to Coruscant, but he doesn't go alone. He goes straight to Mace Windu. In the original timeline, he was conflicted and desperate. Here, he is a witness to a crime. He tells Windu everything, including that Palpatine is a Sith Lord who attempted to assassinate a civilian on Naboo. Windu sees the conviction in Anakin's eyes. He senses no fear, only a demand for justice. When the Jedi Masters enter the Chancellor's office, Anakin is with them with his lightsaber drawn. Palpatine tries to issue Order 66, but Anakin anticipates the betrayal and destroys the communication array on the desk before the command can go out. The duel that follows is catastrophic. Sidious is powerful and kills Kit Fisto, along with the other Masters, instantly. It comes down to Windu and Anakin against the Sith Lord. Palpatine tries one last time to turn Anakin by promising to save Padme. But Anakin looks at the man who tried to kill his mother and feels nothing but disgust. He doesn't cut off Windu's hand. Instead, when Palpatine unleashes his lightning, Anakin absorbs it with his lightsaber while standing shoulder to shoulder with Mace Windu. Together, they overwhelm the Sith Lord. There is no unlimited power moment, just the end of a tyrant. Palpatine falls, and with him, the Empire dies before it can be born. The aftermath is messy. The Republic is shaken, and the Jedi Order has to reckon with its blindness. Anakin Skywalker eventually leaves the Order, but not in disgrace. He leaves to be a father. He retires to Naboo with Padme, where they raise Luke and Leia, with their grandmother, Shmi, watching over them. He never wears the black armor or terrorizes the galaxy. The twins grow up knowing both their parents. The Jedi Order is humbled by how close they came to extinction and begins to reform. They perhaps become more open to the idea that love and attachment can be a source of strength, rather than just a path to the dark side. The entire tragedy of Darth Vader was built on the foundation of a grieving son who couldn't save his mother. By changing that one moment in the desert, we see that Anakin Skywalker wasn't destined to be a monster. He was made one by circumstance and manipulation. It shows us that even in a galaxy far, far away, the most powerful force isn't a lightsaber or a battle station. It is the bond between a parent and a child. If you want to see us explore what happens to Ahsoka in this new timeline, make sure you're subscribed for the next video.